Om Kali, so chanted the blessed Lord. What is the meaning of Kali? She who communes with Mahakala, the Absolute, is Kali. She is formless and again she has forms. The primordial power is ever at play, creating, preserving, and destroying, in play as it were. This power is called Kali. Brahman and Kali are not different. They are like fire and its power to burn. Kali is none other than Brahman. By meditating on Kali, the aspirant realizes God as Kali. He finds that the form merges in the indivisible absolute. The devotion of Kali, free while living, is full of eternal bliss. That which is the indivisible Sachidananda is verily Kali. She is the primal energy. The shackles of time are cut by Kali's name. Kali moves even the immutable. Is Kali, my mother, really black? The naked one of blackest hue lights the lotus of the heart. This is told by or sung by Sri Ramakrishna. This is the English translation of the Bengali song. So, who is Mother Kali has been beautifully told by Sri Ramakrishna in this poem. So, probably based on this, we shall discuss who is Mother Kali. Now, from tomorrow onwards, there will be Deepavali. Deepavali means Deepa means lights, Avali means series. So, series of lamps, series of lights. If you see, the light has got significance in every religion because light represents knowledge. Light represents the life. So this Deepavali is festivals of lights. Generally, we might light one or two candles or one or two lamps in our shrine, in our prayer place. But in Deepavali, we will be lighting the lamp, series of lamps. That is why it is called Deepavali. So it's the festival of lights. So this goes for 3 days. One is Naraka Chaturdashi, that is the Sri Krishna, an incarnation who slain or killed Narakasura. So the next day is a new moon day, Amavasya. So southern part of India and northern part of India, they worship Mother Lakshmi. And the northeastern part of the India, they worship Mother Kali. And the next day, it is called Balipadya. That is the Lord Vishnu's one incarnation called Vamana. He came and he saved the world by sending the demon called Bali to the Patala Loka or to the downwards. Now, in the present day, Deepavali has become very famous. Even the USA has recognized it, Singapore has recognized it. So, quite a few countries have recognized it. I think recently I was reading a news from the Vatican also. They have shared the news that they have given the call that we should try to celebrate Deepavali with Hindus in the possible way. So Deepavali has taken a good place and it has become quite famous among the people across the globe. Now, so in the Bengal and the northern eastern part of Bengal and in Nepal, they do Kali Puja. We worship Mother Kali. But the moment when you see the Mother Kali, we may get fears. We may get fear. Oh, such a ferocious form, and how can we worship her? Because mostly she is nude and she has put out her tongue, red colored, soaked in the blood, and she is holding a sword in her left hand, and right hand she is blessing, of course, and one more right hand she is giving the boons, and in one more hand she is holding the severed head, and she is having the garland made of skulls, human skulls, and she is also wearing the waist made up of human hands. So it is very fearful, nomadic, tribal in nature, or savage. All these things people can criticize or people can make such comments. In other parts, in other side, there are people who respect her, who revere her, who has taken her to their dear hearts and they worship, they adore her. And there are few people who criticize and who see Mother Kali as for the Vamachara, that is for the, what do you say, for the black magic and all. So there are different discussions happening on these things. Has happened and is happening. So actually, who is she Kali? Who is this Kali? And why she has got such ferocious form? Is it really she is ferocious? Is it really tribal in nature in the sense, oh, the people didn't know, so they have made this? Or it is mere imagination? What not? We will try to see. So Kali is worshipped on the new moon day. She is black in color or no color actually. Anyhow, so we will try to see all that. So, if you see the religion, either Hinduism or Islam or Christianity, different faiths and sects like Zoroastrianism, Taoism, Confucianism, so many other isms or faiths. So, everyone has tried to express, describe, explain who is God or what is God. Now, without going to any details of particular faith or a religion, if you broadly, if you start thinking, there are different expressions, explanations about the God. So it starts with the question: Is God is like a human being like us? If so, is how he is, and is he male? The God is male or female or both? So this is an enigma to the human mind actually. And every religion, every philosophy, every ism has tried to explain who is God and what constitutes God. So much so tried, the best minds have tried to explain all these things, but in spite of that, most of them have accepted their limitedness. We can't explain really who is God, what is God, is incomprehensible, is beyond our comprehension. However, all the theories, if you put together, one is God doesn't have any form and doesn't have any attributes. Is Nirakara Nirguna. God doesn't have any form, God doesn't have any attributes actually. This is something similar to Islam. So there are some religions, some faiths, some sects who advocate that God doesn't have any name, God doesn't have any form, God doesn't have any attribute. Okay, there's a one category. And the other category is God has got a form, beautiful form, wonderful form, or forms with attributes. Attributes can be many, qualities can be many, thousands, hundreds, but there are attributes and as well as definite forms. So that is Sakara Saguna. And in between, there are few people, few religions, isms, philosophies. They discuss that God doesn't have form, but God has got definite attributes, qualities. So Nirakara Saguna Rupa. So who is God? What is God? Without going to any ism or philosophy, if I can classify, these are the three permutations and combinations ever possible. And if you see interestingly, in most of the religions, world major religions, accepted religions, God has been worshipped as male figure. How much ever we speak of women empowerment and etc. in the present day, but somehow most of the religions worship the God as male figure or male personality. But whereas in Hinduism, it is a male, it is female, and it is both. That is the beauty or uniqueness in Hinduism. God is male, yes, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and so many. Similarly, God is female also, Saraswati, Lakshmi, Parvati, or Durga. And not only that, and God is both. Like there is in a body, half is Shiva and half is Parvati, husband and wife both. Very quite interesting. And there are few sects, Few isms in Hinduism, they say that God is feminine form and she is supreme and she rules the world. Even the holy trio, Trinity like Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, the God creator, the Lord of creation, the Lord of sustenance, and the Lord of dissolution or destruction, even they also work under the command of Tripurambika or Lalita Mahatripura Sundari, they say. So God is worshipped very in a great way, bigger way, in a very wide way as a feminine form in Hinduism, which is quite interesting and quite unique. And when you see the forms, sometimes we don't understand the efficacy of it or significance of it. Why? Because Hinduism is highly spiritual, philosophical, esoteric, and also as well as symbolical. So we should have some purity of mind. We should have an in-depth knowledge. Then only we can understand the significance of each form of God or goddesses. So do we have got a different gods and goddesses? They say 33 crores of gods. No, only one God we call by different names. Just like I have been called in the house, with respect to my father, I am called as son. With respect to my son, I am addressed as father. With respect to my wife, I am referred as husband. With regard to the country, I am addressed as citizen. In office, I am called as colleague or a CEO or a manager or employee or whatever. So one person, we have got different names based on the context and the relationships. So similarly, Hinduism is not polytheistic. It is just one God. We call it by different names. So we don't worship different gods and goddesses, one God with different names. And also, Hinduism is very intuitive in the nature. So that is the reason it is not that easy to understand. And it's such a variety and diversity is there, so that can be head boggling, can be highly confusing. Okay. And this is the case also in the case of Mother Kali. Okay. So Mother Kali has got different forms, different descriptions, different pictures. Forms are available, but I'm taking one standard form, which generally she is nude mostly with a long hairs. She's nude and she's wearing human skulls as garland and human hands in and around her waist. And in the left hand, she has got four hands. In the left hand, in one of the left hand downside, she is wearing the human skull, severed human skull head, and in the other left hand she's holding one sword, and in the right side she's blessing the above right hand, and the below right hand she is giving the boons, abhaya and varapradan. This is the more or less figure, and she's standing on her own spiritual consort husband on Shiva with a open tongue, which she has put her tongue outside, which is with full of bloody in color or red in color. So when we see this, we feel it is very highly uncivilized. Oh my God, how can God can be such a ferocious or such uncivilized? Yes, people can have this type of ideas, can get this type of doubts. I mean, I'm on a light note. I mean, I remember an incident which happened in Latin America. A devotee, she's born and brought up in Christianity, and she used to come to our ashram. She is coming to ashram even now, of course. And one day, few years before, she brought a young daughter. And first time she came to the monastery and to the ashram, and she saw the portrait of Sri Ramakrishna. And if you see the portrait of Sri Ramakrishna, which we all worship or kept in our shrine, he's cross-legged and holding hands, and off of the dhoti is there till knees, and here only a small piece of cloth is there, and off of the body, the upper part of the body is open. So when the small girl, she saw the portrait of Sri Ramakrishna, she said, "How? You are worshipping him as a god, but he looks like very uncivilized." The mother took aback, and the mother asked, "My dear, why are you making this statement?" He is considered as an incarnation or a prophet, a great saint, a great man of spirituality, man of realization. How can you say this? What made you to say this? When the mother asks this, the daughter asks, very innocently, she says, "Oh, he has not well dressed. He has not dressed well properly. Means he has to cover himself properly. He has not covered himself properly. So I felt he's uncivilized." Then mother laughs at it, and mother explains why is this and that cultural context, Indian cultural context, and etc. Then she accepts. She understands and accepts. So many times when we don't have proper understanding, we can have wrong understanding about this symbolic symbols and the God with different type of shapes. So same thing we can happen with Mother Kali. She's a nude and ferocious and standing on her own husband. How can we worship her as Mother Kali? Even in India, the other religions, if they want to convert the Hindus, they attack on the Hinduism. I mean, what do you say? Quoting this type of examples, and they try to undermine, which is very unfortunate. But there is a highly philosophy behind that. Let us see now. Now, before going to it, I would like to say she is Kali, she is Tara, she is Durga, she is Devi, she is Brahman, she is Shakti. Sometimes some of you might say, oh, these are all going above the head. These are highly philosophical, highly esoteric. If at all, if you feel, then you can say that she is my mother. All our biological mothers are dear to us. In most of our case, when there is any problem, if they want anything, then we will go to our mothers and we say, Mother, please can you help me? I need some money, or I need some permission to go to party with my friends, or I have to go, would like to travel to other place with my friends or relatives or whatever. Can you tell to father, and can you please help me to get the permission? And with the mother, we quarrel. With the mother, we express our desires, our prayers, wishes openly. It may not be same with the father most of the cases. May not be all, but in the most of the cases. Why? Mother is ours. So like that, we can call her by any name, but she is our mother. So even if we don't understand any philosophy, if we can worship her, if we can love her as our mother, my mother, that is more enough, which brings actually dear to the God. So God is worshipped as supreme self, Paramatman in the feminine form. Okay. Now, Kala. Kala means actually time. Okay. Kali or Kali means controller of time. So the Kala represents here Shiva. Shiva is representing the eternal time. And the Kali is the controller or the regulator of the time. That is why both are present on the same altar. Shiva is lying down and Kali is standing on that. Why? Because Kala means Shiva is representing the time and she is controlling it. That's why that's philosophical truth has been put like this. Anyhow, Kali denotes like coming together of creation, sustenance, and destruction or dissolution. And Kali also denotes the coexistence. The one who gives birth has give birth to the creation, she also has got a responsibility of sustenance and dissolution too. So she's the symbol of creation, sustenance, and the dissolution of this entire universe, entire creation. From her, the whole world has been emerged, and the whole world is been maintained, and the whole world will be dissolved. And for that, she is the power behind it. She's the Kali. Okay. And if you see, the whole world is nothing but time and space matrix. Time and space matrix, actually. So the whole world, creation or whatever the mundane world we are seeing, experiencing, that is in the matrix, in the framework of time and space. So this Mother Kali, she is representing this eternal time, past, present, and future. Who is Kali? She's eternal time. So that eternal time has been put in a symbolical form or in the human form called Mother Kali. Now the question might come, why you Hindus put so many forms with the gods with different forms? And why do we need form at all? Why can't we explain these philosophies, abstract concepts without form? If you ask, if I ask you to think a little more deeply, we'll all understand that without name and form, we cannot we cannot understand any concept. I say, oh, I mean, she's eternal time, she's a Mother Kali, or she's something. Okay, she's something. Try to understand, try to imagine. So I'm not using the word Kali and I'm not giving any form. She is the eternal time, she is the eternal power by which the whole world has been created. It is a power. Imagine, understand. If I say, then when you start trying to understand and imagine, for some of you it becomes abstract concept. You might stop thinking. Some of you start thinking that it is like a ocean of light, it is like a ocean of darkness, or it is a big sky like, or it is like a ocean, like a huge water source. So something we imagine. Why? Because our mind, without name and form, it cannot think. So our rishis, our philosophers, Indian philosophers, they knew our strength and limitations of our mind, hence they gave these forms. Okay. Now, Kali, now let me start with Kali puts her tongue out and it is so, I mean, it is red in color. Why? So, as the mythology story goes, there was a demon called Mahishasura, who is one of the chief among the demons at some point of time. There were so many demons in Hindu mythology. And in every other culture, religions, they have got different types. That's all. But Hinduism is rich in mythology. And this Mahishasura had a younger brother. He's called Raktabijasura. Raktabija. Asura means demon. Raktabija. His proper name is Raktabija. He had a special boon from Lord Shiva after doing penance that if a drop of blood falls on the ground during the battlefield, because of that one blood, few more Raktabijasuras will be emerged. They are equally powerful, just like him. So if he goes to the battlefield, if a drop of blood falls from him, then immediately few Raktabijasuras used to come, and that's how there was no way he can be killed. And he became invincible, indispensable, and he started doing all the nonsense and whatnot. So he had become Tan, he had become the problem for the society. So the mother Durga, she tried to kill him. And whenever she tries to kill him with the different weapons, the blood oozes out. And because of the blood, a number of Raktabijasuras used to come. She slays them, and again, few more Raktabijasuras are coming because the blood is falling. Yeah, sorry. Then mother thought from her forehead or from her power, she created one more parallel deity or a parallel god, parallel feminine god. She is none other than Mother Kali. So Mother Durga, while slaying this Raktabijasura, to check this problem, she created from her own the Mother Kali. So when the Mother Kali was created by the Mother Durga, manifested, she said, "Oh, Chamunda or Kali, open out your mouth quickly. And no sooner I strike Raktabijasura with weapons, you would drink of the blood as fast as it runs out of his body, so that no more Raktabijasuras will emerge." And Kali did that, and that's how Raktabijasura has been slain. Now, this tongue was elongated or was put out by Kali. Why? To to clear the blood of Raktabijasura. Fine, the war is over, and now why even now Mother Kali is putting her tongue out. If you ask, the story goes like this. Because she's a creator, she's a controller of created or whatever. So when the creation has come, she wants to enjoy the creation. So she wants to enjoy the taste, she wants to enjoy the smell, she wants to enjoy the temperature, like cold or hot, and she wants to enjoy the good sound and other things. So how can we enjoy the good taste? By only tongue. So by putting her tongue out, she's enjoying the creation. She's not suffering of the creation, she's enjoying the creation. And so she has kept herself open and without closing herself body. Why? So she wants to enjoy the every part of the creation. That's the reason the philosophers give the reason is she has put her tongue out, so she's enjoying the creation in there, which is called like taste. Now, and if you see, this Kali is nothing but the time already I told, and she is nothing but the primordial power. She is none other than the Brahman. It is the unique concept or unique philosophy given by Sri Ramakrishna. Because in the Advaita Vedanta, we see Brahman plus Maya. Brahman is consciousness, Maya is its power, consciousness and its power, because of that the world has been created. The same idea in the theistic schools has taken the form of Devi. Like Brahma has got his power, energy called Saraswati, spiritual concert, and Vishnu has got his spiritual concert called Lakshmi, and Maheshwara or Shiva has got his spiritual concert or power or energy is none other than Parvati or Durga or Girija. But Shaktas or Tantra sadhana, in Tantra's philosophy, they say that Mother is supreme and at the command of Mother, like Devi Bhagavata, Tripura Rahasya, these are the few texts. They say that at the command of Mother, all the three holy trinities are working. But Sri Ramakrishna says Kali is not just mere power, she is none other than the Brahman or Supreme Self or consciousness, which is very interesting. So when it is active, she is called Kali, and it is called Kali. When it is inactive, it is called Brahman. So he gives the example of the serpent. Serpent, when it is inactive, it is coiled up itself, and when it is moving. So when the serpent is coiled up and not doing anything, it is called Brahman. The same serpent, when it unfolds and when it is moving, then it is called Kali. So there is no difference. Essentially, there is no difference between Brahman and Kali. So Kali is none other than the primordial energy, the primordial power, supreme self. Okay. Now, why Kali is standing on Shiva? One reason I told, time and controller of time. Shiva represents Kala, Mahakala, or eternal time, and she is the controller of that. That is the reason. And one more thing has been given by the Tantra text and the other philosophies, that is, we have got Purusha and the Prakriti. According to the Sankhya philosophy, Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and all yoga philosophy, Purusha doesn't do any work. He's just like bare witness, pure awareness, pure witness. Then the Prakriti does all the activities. But Prakriti alone cannot do its activities without the presence of Purusha. In the absence of Purusha, Prakriti, the nature's primordial nature, cannot do its work. And without Prakriti, Purusha cannot do anything. It is just witness. So Purusha and Prakriti both are required for the creation or for any work, especially. So now the Purusha has been represented as Shiva and the Prakriti is represented as Kali. So Kali is standing on the Shiva means what? Without Purusha, Prakriti cannot do any work. And without Prakriti, Purusha will not be able to do the work. Work is what here? Creation, sustenance, and the dissolution of the universe. So that again, highly philosophical concept has been given in this form. And the same thing, similar idea also has been told by Adi Shankaracharya in Saundarya Lahari. Shiva can function only united with Shakti. So the great Advaita philosopher Adi Shankaracharya says Shiva can function only united with Shakti. And very interestingly, Swami Vivekananda has got some, what do you say, conversations. Let me read, which will give very interesting thing. So it goes like this. It has been recorded by Sister Nivedita, our dear Sister Nivedita. The conversation goes like this. When Sister Nivedita asks, Swami Vivekananda says, how I used to hate Kali, he said, because he never used to, is being the member of Brahma, he never used to accept or worship Mother Kali. How I used to hate Kali, he said, and all her ways. That was the ground of my 6 years fight, that I would not accept her. But I had to accept her at last. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa dedicated me to her, And now I believe that she guides me in every little thing I do and does with me what she will. Yet I fought so long. I loved him, you see, and that was what held me. Means here, him means Sri Ramakrishna. I saw his marvelous purity. I felt his wonderful love. His greatness had not dawned on them, on me then. All that came afterwards. When I had given in, at that time, I thought him a brain sick baby, always seeing visions and the rest. I hated it. And then I too had to accept her. No, the thing that made me to do is a secret that will die with me. So Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna transferred the powers to to Swami Vivekananda. Regarding that, Swami Vivekananda is saying that he transferred Mother Kali to me and it will die with me. Means I will not be transferring that power. I had great misfortunes at that time. It was an opportunity. She made a slave of me. Those were the very words, a slave of you. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa made me over to her. He dedicated me to her. Strange. He lived only 2 years after doing that. And most of the time, he was suffering. Not more than 6 months did keep his own health and brightness. The future, you say, will call Ramakrishna Paramahamsa an incarnation of Kali? Nivedita is asking. And Swami Vivekananda says, yes, I think there is no doubt that she worked up the body of Ramakrishna for her own ends. You see, I cannot but believe that there is somewhere a great power that thinks of herself as feminine and called Kali and Mother. And I believe in Brahman too. But is it not always like that? Is it not the multitude of cells in the body that make up the personality? The many brain centers, not the one that produce consciousness? Unity in complexity. Just so. And why should it be different with Brahman? It is Brahman, it is the one, and yet, it is the gods too. So this is what the explanation Swami Vivekananda gives to Sister Nivedita and Mother Kali. So he never accepted all these things. But the moment he accepted Mother Kali, then his life took a different turn and a lot of problems were subsided. He got energy to face whatever afterwards it comes. And very interestingly, before his passing away, Swami Vivekananda goes to Amarnath. There he had a vision, darshan of the Lord Shiva. And that's where he gets a special boon that at his will, he can give up the body, Swami Vivekananda. Then, while returning in Jammu Kashmir, he will have a wonderful vision of Mother Kshir Bhavani. And Nivedita mentions in her in the biography or autobiography, that is the master as I saw him. It is a biography on Swami Vivekananda, no doubt. So there she mentions once our Swami visited the temple Kshir Bhavani, he became indrawn. He was not interested in any work or any improving or as a philosopher or a missionary. Rather, he became a childlike and used to feel the presence of mother at every moment, at every step. And he was just like a child. And whomever approaches, he used to tell, I do not know anything. It is all mother's will. Her will prevail. I am the child playing in the lap of mother. So, whom we all worship, the great Vedantin, and who taught the Vedanta to the world at large in Chicago, starting from Chicago's Parliament of Religions and etc. But if you see his last time, few years of his end of his life, Swami Vivekananda, the roaring lion of Vedanta, we say, and his understanding about Divine Mother and other things was quite amazing. Now, why I brought all these things? Because whatever we are discussing about Mother Kali, it is not mere speculation. It is not mere philosophical discussion. It is a fact. How can we say that it is a fact? Because the spiritual luminaries, they have experienced it, like Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, or Kamalakanta, or Ram Prasad. Are many more great saints, prophets have experienced Mother Kali and other forms, and based on their experiences, they have given these descriptions or philosophies. Okay. Now, Kali looks black or blue in color. Why it is so? If you ask, so even if you see sky looks how? Sky looks blue in color. Fine. But really, does sky is blue in color? We all know that it is not so, because there is a phenomenon called light scattering or Rayleigh scattering. Now, when the sun produces all the seven colors, no doubt. When the sun is, I mean, when enters the our Earth atmosphere, all other, I mean, the like seven colors get what you say, I mean, it gets diverged. Among them, blue color, violet color, this becomes prominent, and our eyes are sensitive to the blue color. As a result, we see the blue color in more. It can see more, and that's how we feel sky is blue. But if you go with the help of satellite or aeroplane or some other, I mean, vehicles, and if you go above and above and above, then we will see, oh, sky is not, it doesn't have any color. But it appears blue because of scattering of light. We know that, and our eyes have got that power to see, recognize that blue color. So similarly, so mother actually doesn't have any color. Then without any color, how to represent her? That's the reason blue or black has been represented. Here blue represents the like sky, like she doesn't have any color, but just to experience or to make us imagine, for imagination, we have to put some color, they have put. And why she's very black in color? Black is what? It is actually colorless. When you say colorless, again we will imagine something like a pale light, pale white, or a pale black something. That is the reason she has been colored as black in color or blue in color. And that's where Sri Ramakrishna sings Kokono Range Take Ma Kokono Nai. Means Mother Kali, sometimes she has got some colors and sometimes she doesn't have any color. Means she is Nirakara Nirguna Parabrahma, the Supreme Self, which doesn't have any form, any attributes. And sometimes she has got forms like black or blue color. Means what? She assumes the form for the help of the humankind or human beings. And why she is nude in form? Why? Because, and there are some interesting description here. Sometimes it can be a bit funny also, that she's busy in creating the stars, planets, atmosphere, or the worlds and galaxies and all. Where she had a time to eat, where she doesn't have a time to wear clothes, and she doesn't have a time to make up and other things. That's the reason she has kept herself nude. If she starts wearing clothes and she starts making up, I mean preparing herself with costumes and all, then the creation may get stopped. So as a result, she has kept herself nude because she's busy. This is one of the very quite interesting or funny explanation. Why? Because otherwise, how the civil okay. And also they also say that this whole body has come from this earth and it will go back to the earth. So that is also one more explanation. And now she is wearing a few hands in and around her waist. Why? Now, if you see how the civilization is been grown, it is nothing but thinking and creativity. And the creativity represents the head and the hands. We have to work. Just mere thinking and so many thoughts have come. We have written like a PhD thesis and other things. No use. When it has to be put into action, then only it is all useful. So similarly, the hands represents the action. So all the creativity has to be put into action. Then only the civilizations, the countries, and the technologies can be built. So she's wearing the few hands as her in and around her waist like a belt is what it represents, the creative force or creativity, which is very important. Which is very important for the sustenance of the civilization or the sustenance of the creation. So basically, it is a symbol of creativity or the protecting our civilization. Okay. And she has got in her right hands, one is she is holding like this, means it is a abhaya. She is saying that, oh, my dear children, whoever takes shelter at me or even others, I am here to protect you. So she is assuring us, I am here. She is blessing, and she is blessing us with fearlessness. If you want, she is blessing us with the materialistic prosperity, spiritual values, realization, freedom, God realization, self relation, anything, whatever you want, she is ready to give one is blessings by giving the abhaya, and varadana is boon. So in this way, one more right hand will be like this. That is what boon. So she is blessing us with the protection or with the fearlessness, and also she is also giving the boons as materialistic prosperity or spiritual prosperity. So she is blessing her children by giving fearlessness and granting the boons. That is the reason Abhaya and Vara. And in the left hand, upper hand, she is holding the sword. What does it mean? Means she is warning the people. My dear, you are supposed to follow the rules and regulations. When we are following the rules and regulations, we need not to fear for police, or in Ireland we call Garda. I'm driving and I'm following the rules. Gada is going next to me. Then I don't fear. If I am not following the rules, if I don't have a license, or if I am not maintaining the speed, if I hear the Gada's siren sound on Gada's vehicle presence, immediately I get fear, isn't it? So this word is representing here what? It is giving a warning. Even when times when Mother Kali or Durga Devi or Vishnu Shiva, they killed the demons. Why they couldn't change them? So it is not that straight away they went and they killed. They have warned, they gave enough chance, they gave enough long rope for all of them to rectify their mistakes. When they didn't listen to that, when they gave a deaf ear, and when they became a nonsense and nuisance to the society, and because of them, n number of people were suffering. As a final thing, they have killed them, and by killing them, they gave a protection to the society, and they gave a temporary liberation or a blessings for these demons basically. So she's warning people or beings not to sin, means not to do bad actions, not to do illegal, immoral, unethical actions or whatever. So when people does, then I'm here to punish you. I'm here, if you becomes too much, I'm here to punish you and to destroy you. And she's holding a severed head. What does it mean in the left down hand? That is what it represents, the ego and ignorance. If you got the severed head, symbolizes the destruction of the ego and the illusion of the self called Maya. Ignorance. Because of the ignorance, I am thinking I and mineness. In Sanskrit, it is called ahankara and mamakara. So that is been killed, that is been removed, destroyed by Divine Mother. So the severed head represents the destruction of the ego and the Maya or the illusion. So she is showing that if you take shelter at me, if you listen to my words or teachings, and if you follow me, if you follow my instructions, then what happens? I am here to liberate you. I am here, I am here to grant you the freedom, realization, eternal freedom, or internal freedom, or whatever the words we can say. And by that you can overcome the pride, attachment, ignorance, and whatnot. Then she is wearing the garland of skulls. What does that represent? There are few explanations. One is the skulls represents letters, alphabets. So, there is a Sanskrit, a statement that no letter is waste, because every letter is used in the some or other mantras, in the sacred formulas. So every letter is useful. So that the human skulls are representing the alphabets. That is that Shabda Brahma or knowledge. And the other explanation is that human skulls represents the cycle of birth and death. So the life is transitory, or the transition of the life. So you should understand birth and death are inevitable. You should not get carried over. Understanding this, then you have to lead the proper life. Otherwise, you will go to die. Again, you will take birth. Again, you will die. Again, you will take birth. So instead of that, we should seek the eternal freedom. And interestingly, if you see in the story of Totapuri, the leader, the guru, the teacher of Sri Ramakrishna, this Totapuri initiated Sri Ramakrishna into sannyasa, and also he gave Advaitic few teachings. And this Totapuri was no less man. I have given a few, 2 or 3 talks on Totapuri itself. He was a great ascetic, and for 40 years he led a very highly intense ascetic life, pure life, and he had experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Maya had experienced. And when He saw Sri Ramakrishna. He understood is the fit person to practice Advaita Vedanta, and he asked him, can I initiate you into sannyasa, monastic life? Sri Ramakrishna innocently said, I do not know anything. I will ask my mother. Totapuri thought he is going to ask his biological mother. Then he said, all right, go ahead. Because in traditional sannyas, if you have to take sannyas, you have to go and ask your mother. Mother should give permission. Till then, we cannot take sannyas in the traditional way, of course. In the modern sannyas, it is not there, of course. Then he thought maybe that's the case, and Totapuri allowed. Sri Ramakrishna went to Mother Kali's temple and he said, Totapuri has come and he wants to teach me Vedanta and he wants to give sannyasa. What should I do? Mother says, oh, for your sake only I have got him here. Go and make use of it. And Sri Ramakrishna comes and tells, yes, mother has agreed, you can do whatever you say. Whatever you say, I will follow it. And that's how Sri Ramakrishna was given monastic robes, initiation, and also he practiced in 3 days. He had attained Nirvikalpa Samadhi. We all know that story. And after that also, Sri Ramakrishna used to take the mother's Kali's name, different gods and goddesses' name, and he used to clap and he used to do these bhajans. And Totapuri, being a hardcore Advaita Vedantin, he never understand these things, unfortunately. And he used to make a fun that, oh, you are making chapatis, means so like Indian bread. So are you making bread? So Sri Ramakrishna felt very annoyed, but he used to keep quiet because out of respect for his guru. At some point of time, Totapuri, he was a Brahmagnani, no doubt, but he used to sit and meditate morning and evening for long hours. And he had a terrible, severe stomach pain. So much so that he was unable to meditate. His mind slowly coming down, and he was not able to lift his mind. He was not able to sit for meditation and all. Then he thought, what is the use of this? Anyhow, I have attained my life, attained my goal. There is nothing, no use of this wretched body. It is simply creating a problem for me, thinking that he wanted to end his life, which is not good. Then he went to the Ganges and he wanted to be drowned. Then from one side to another side in Calcutta, it is quite huge. It is maybe half a kilometer wide, or more than that, such a wide depth in nature, the Ganges. He went from one side to another side, he went, but he couldn't get drowned. Why? The water was just till knees. He was astonished. Then he was thinking, what happened? Then he thought and he turned back. At some point of time, he saw Divine Mother Kali. He had a darshan, he had a vision of Divine Mother Kali. Then he could understand who is Mother Kali. Then he comes and he asks his disciple Sri Ramakrishna to sing a song on Mother Kali. Sri Ramakrishna makes a fun, and Totapuri keeps quiet, and Sri Ramakrishna sings his song, and Totapuri sits and listening, and with tears rolls down on his cheeks. A great Advaita Vedantin who was making a fun on these devotional practices or Mother Kali, he is fond of the singing now, and he's listening, and the tears are rolling down on his cheeks. So, without accepting Mother, without accepting the Divine Mother or Shakti, our realization or our life will not become complete. And if you see again in the history, Rama, before doing his main work, like that is killing Ravana, he worshipped Divine Mother. That's why we did Navaratri, Dasara, or Durga Puja. And Krishna, before Kurukshetra war, he made Arjuna to worship the Divine Mother. And Sri Ramakrishna, before doing his main incarnation work, spreading the spirituality, he did worship Mother on the Palahani Kali Puja. Of course, he worshipped his own wife as a Mother Kali. And all the great peoples, including Shankaracharya, he worshipped a mother in the form of Lalita, Sri Vidya. So all the great prophets and the incarnations, they worshipped the God in the feminine form. They got some energy, and afterwards they did their great work. So this is the efficacy, this is the power of the Divine Mother. And if we can accept the Divine Mother, and if we can love her, adore her, and praise her, and if we can follow her, a lot of our problems can be controlled, can be checked. It can be with physical problems, mental problems, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. All type of problems can be easily nullified, easily it can be cancelled, and we can live a happy life, peaceful life, contented life, and even we can have a realization. That is what very important. And quite interesting is one more, probably I will tell and end it. In Varanasi, which is the oldest city, available oldest city in the world, ancient city also, Sri Ramakrishna had visited Varanasi once. So when he was moving in the Ganges, when he was traveling in the on the Ganges water in the boat, he saw. So there is called the Shashwamedha Ghat. So it's a ghat where the dead bodies will be burnt actually. There he saw a beautiful vision. I mean, he could see. It is not just mere imagination or a dream. He could see that. What did he see? So the people's body, whoever died and they were getting burnt, there Shiva himself is coming and uttering Taraka mantra in the ears of the dead people. And Mother Kali, she's standing next to the Shiva, and on whom Shiva is uttering the Taraka mantra, such people's bondage has been cut asunder by Divine Mother Kali. Whether he's a saint or a sinner, whether he has done spiritual practices or not, whether he's led a pure life or impure life, just because by virtue of he has dead in the Kashi, which is very sacred place, because of that, so the Shiva is to utter Tarka mantra for the dead person, and Mother Kali is to cut his bondage. That means what? He will be liberated. He did not to take any more birth and death. He will have eternal freedom. So all these things has been recorded in the life of different saints. So Mother Kali, nude or whatever you see, we think, and very fearful form and all, it is not so. It appears at surface level, but it has got a lot of esoteric, philosophical, spiritual significance. If we can understand, it will be very interesting and very helpful, and it will also help us to go further. It will help us to progress in our spiritual life. May Mother Kali bless all of us so that we may understand her divine form, and we shall worship her. We shall be the recipient of her divine grace, her grace, so that we can lead a happiest life and we can reach our ultimate goals. And wish you all happy Deepavali. And on the Monday, 20th of October at 6:30 p.m. we have got Kali Puja. All of you are welcome. Thank you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.